And recording. So it's been about a month and a half since I've reacted to Wintersun. I don't know how that happened. I meant to get back to them much sooner. So far, I've reacted to three of their songs. It was Time, Land of Snow and Sorrow, and Sons of Winter and Stars. They were all awesome. They were all from the same live recording too. It was a studio album or studio recording kind of gig. So I wanted to actually hear something a little bit older to have some comparisons. And I had a request to do Death and the Healing, which I believe is from the first album. So I went on YouTube and I did a search for a live version, and pretty much everything that I could find was kind of like a handheld recorder from a phone, and the audio quality was kind of off. So I'm just going to do the actual studio recording and go from there. So, about a 7-minute song. Let's see what it sounds like. Excuse me.
A windstorm dropped a bird from the sky. It fell to the ground and its wings broke and died. But when the time got by, like the sky, it flied. 'Cause the winds heal in time and the bird was high.
I'm going to pause it already, just because the chords that are being used and the progression, I should say, it sounds so positive. Like there's a really uplifting sort of nature to it. And I imagine that's probably the healing part of the Death and the Healing. And it sounds very similar to the stuff I heard before. So it seems like they have a pretty consistent sound throughout their discography, which is cool. 'Cause oftentimes when bands start like venturing too far from what the initial fans like, that's when you start getting pushback and saying, "Oh, they've changed too much, or they've sold out, or etc." But this sounds really good. I like this sound a lot. When it started, the melody that was being played by the lead guitar, first thing that came to my head was just like, I know exactly how he's going to sing this, because it's in the exact key that he tends to like, based off the three other songs I've heard. And like even the melody that it's playing, like he has kind of like a more staccato way of singing and kind of like sparse with his words. But it fits right in that melody like so well. And it's got that nice amount of heaviness as well. An epic kind of quality to it. Yeah, rewind just a smidge. Go. sounds like it's slowing down a little bit, but that little section there where they were alternating double time between the drumming and the guitaring, and then for that last portion, they double time together. That was just like a cool interplay of the musicians, kind of like just building and building the song together. And it's like a nice little journey too, because it was like a little kind of almost acoustic sounding, or just more non-distortion on the guitar earlier. So it went from heavy to that to heavy, and it sounds like it's slowing down again. So it's just like lots of movement is happening, like musically, to keep me interested in this. Not a lot of lyrics, but the singer's also a guitar player, so like he's getting his shine through no matter what. And there's like a sense of like moroseness as well. So you have the uplifting guitar riffs, which is a dun dun. Like it's hard to explain. I guess it's just a lot of major chords being used, but like the rhythm guitar section is kind of uplifting, but then the keyboard and a little bit of the melody later actually has more of a sadness to it. So the contrast of it and just it together gives you this feeling, the death and the healing. It's cool, but it's not necessarily just something for this song. They do that with their other songs as well. So it gives you kind of like a feeling of like altogether kind of like coldness, which might be just something I'm getting from looking at this the picture of the man frozen to death in a forest. Let's back up a little bit. Go. Real classical.
A snowstorm blew inside a wolf's eyes, and the frozen tears covered all the mountain sides. But then the time got by and the wolf died, and someday that wolf would bleed.
It's nice that they could be so self-actualized as a band right from the beginning and know what the sound that they want to do is. The There's a lot of like classical influences too, like classical music. A little bit in the about 5.5 minute mark, like there was a melody there that just made me think of like an old like German like a Wagner piece or something. I'm bad with names of the actual like movements and songs and stuff. But yeah, like it's really cool. Let me exit out of that real quick. Yeah, it's really cool to know exactly what your sound is and then to keep doing that and keep doing that from album to album. Like it's not necessarily like oh, they're doing the same thing over again, this is boring. It's just like no, I still just haven't said everything that I've wanted to say. And also this is more about a feeling and an emotion that I have as opposed to just trying to manufacture something to like a current sound. Because when you start trying to adjust your music to what's popular in like the surroundings and like in society, then it's you're kind of losing a little bit of the your personal flair and flavor that you add to it. It's not about trends. It's about just this is what I feel. This is what I have to say. If anyone listens to it, cool. If they don't, I don't care either because this is just what I wanted to say. And that's actually the attitude that I respect the most, which is kind of what makes me veer towards metal more than like any other genre. Because I feel like, especially in metal, it's more about just I don't give a fuck about you guys kind of attitude. I'm doing this for me, and if you like it, cool. Uh, with other genres, I kind of feel like they're kind of like, please listen to me, please listen to me. Won't someone notice that I'm here? I'll play whatever you want. Which I know isn't a fair opinion. Like I know in every genre, there's always good artists, and there's always like bad artists and like people who sell out and that kind of thing. And selling out's not a bad thing. If you want to make money when you do a job, and everything is a job, even if you love it. I think that little blurb that was underneath the music said something about the singer slash guitarist kind of writing and composing most of the music on the first album. I don't know if he continued to do that, but it would kind of make sense to what I was saying about the sound being kind of consistent. And if it's the case that he is writing or composing most of the music, then good on him. Like it's very, very difficult to do, especially in 2004. Um, with pieces of that length and the complexity that he actually has it written in, you always forget that like Mozart and Beethoven, that they composed all that stuff by themselves without computers and without being able to hear everything all together. They just had that ability to sort of see what the music would sound like. And I'm always impressed when a person or a band is able to do something kind of like this, um, all by themselves. A band. When I say band, I think the blurb said that the drumming might have been somebody else. So that doesn't take away from anything, and I'm enjoying this a lot. I get the feeling that no matter what song I listen to, no matter what era, no matter what album from them, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. So it's taken me a while to get back to them, but I think I'll revisit them again very, very soon.